should do that.
Hello! I did!
Good job. Did it. So now we have to sit here discussing how to obtain the different types of Sharky. I guess. Is it an evolution? We think it's costumes. We think it's like Pikachu costumes. Unclear.
I forget, let me,
Unless Sharky is a cast form. You just put him into, like, different situations and he just magically changes according to the surroundings. Maybe that's it. Cast form Sharky.
No, not cast form Sharky.
Also not what the captions say, which is cast from Shang-Chi.
Ah.
You are not Shang-Chi.
How are you doing, Magic? I need to do this thing before we
My
go.
laundry timer is just gonna go beep 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 any second.
One. Especially for Sailor Sharky. Why has this happened to me?
Costume changes make sense, especially for Sailor Sharky.
Why has this happened to me?
Wonder what the activation phrase for Sailor Sharky is, though.
Wait, but what is there like a Z move for Sharky? Is there a like a Gigantamax Sharky?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, this is hurting my head.
All the different Sharkies.
There are too many Sharkies.
Yeah, we still have pending Villain Sharky, Paladin Sharky, Pirate Sharky, and now Cave Goblin Sharky.
Also, I'm doing alright, Sharky. Finished my take-home test like 2 minutes before the stream started. Oh, so good thing we were late.
Hope that went well.
Yeah. Well, also remember that I'm commissioning Lost and Confused Sharky and Final Fantasy Sharky.
Those aren't even for the stream.
Those aren't even for the stream. They're for my personal life.
You mean this one?
No!
No, not too bad.
Stop it!
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for take-home tests.
Yeah.
Like, they can't really stop you, but...
Some try with that stupid lockdown browser. There's some try, because I've had tests where they force you to use this lockdown browser that if you click off of it, the browser will close, and it will
But you see,
stop
people have phones.
It also
have other computers. People have physical books.
It also keeps watch over the camera, and if you look at your phone and that stuff, or if you get up and leave, it will also close.
Oops, sorry, my camera's broken.
Like, this is legitimate things that have happened, that I've taken
I
calls.
know, and I know there's been a big fuss because, like, kids can have ADHD and stuff, and just have a habit of looking around.
Yeah. I remember getting a call at my first IT job where they're like, I had to get up and do my laundry and the browser closed, and now I can't get back into my desk. And I'm always like, I have to talk to your professor, don't talk to me. Because
grad school is pretty much all in the open note stuff because every professor is like, you're all at the level where things you don't know you would be expected to Google/consult experts anyway. Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't that be like every level though?
I mean, at this point, like, it is all just Google whatever.
Yeah. Or there's an expert in the subject, just go consult them.
Yeah. Or Google the expert.
Well, one would think.
Wait, people think?
I don't. I don't know what thinking is. What's thinking? Yeah. And probably after Friday, Magic doesn't want to think either.
Poor cow mom.
What cow
They were
mom?
saying about having gotten her trading card right afterwards.
Yeah, that was the most hilarious thing. Being like, oh, I got a trading card? Let me look. Oh, Toriel.
It's actually, it's like the Shadow Realm, you defeated her and therefore she got
Trapped her in the
card.
trading card. I'm Maximilian Pegasus. Yugi boy.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. Anyway.
We circle around the train as Lupin goes over the mission in detail. He ends his explanation as we reach the first car. Do either of us remember the explanation? No, we don't, because it's been like 2 or 3 weeks.
It's been like 2 weeks. I missed last week.
Yeah, and that's fine. It was just... At that moment... Whoa! Lupin leans backward, bumping into the shoulder of a passerby.
Excuse me.
If/when I get a chance to teach as part of my grad program, I want to have the policy of you can retake whatever test you want in my class, no questions asked. If you were training to be an electrician and failed some test thing, it would be stupid to just say, oh well, and move on. I want to make sure you know and understand the information. I had, I think I had
My only question is, if they have like a 95 and they retake it and they get like a 92, will you give them the higher grade? I hope so.
I would hope so. Because that would be that would be that would be like, okay, well, you can retake it. You have to use the newest grade. Always
I feel
have.
like some professors would do
Oh, yeah. I know for a fact some professors do that.
bullshit.
Oh yeah, I think I've had a professor who did that. No.
Having a professor that was like, oh, no extensions, no exceptions on your homework. And like, I joined the class on the last day that you could, because it just freed up the last spot on the last day that you could drop. And because I joined that day, obviously I didn't have it done. But he was like, nope, no extensions, no exceptions. But you need that assignment as the basis for the next assignment. So you still have to do it. You're just not going to get any credit for it. I was just like, I hate you so much.
Was that your laundry beeping? I said, was that your laundry beeping?
Yep.
Should probably go do your laundry.
I should probably go check.
I will, hold down the fort badly?
Why hold down the fort? You could just let the fort fly into the air. That sounds fine.
Whee! I'm gonna die!
We're all going on an adventure through the sky. Woo!
What's that song? Is that theme song? I don't remember. I'm too old for it anyway.
See if the dryers have hopefully been fixed since last night, since all of them lost connection last night. And I think their entire system just went down because all of them were like, no connection. And then I tried again later and it was like, busy. Try again later.
We still don't know if our building has their laundry set up. I think they were supposed to be installed Friday, but like we've been too busy to check to see if they're even up and running in that mess of a basement.
Oh, Magic, you sound like you're gonna be the nicest professor.
I also want the policy of if you're falling behind or stressed or etc., come talk to me so we can work something out. My class isn't more important than your health. No class is. Magic is going to be the sweetest and most precious professor baby.
I mean, I feel like I would hope a lot of people from like our generation, Magic's generation, are like more
open about that.
Because we all went through the shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Though I suppose technically so did our current professors. They all just fucking sucked about stuff.
They're all just like, oh, this is a part of life now. Suffer.
Y'all haven't entered the working world. You don't know what part of life is. Fuck off. If I miss a deadline for work, half the time it's like, well, we made up this deadline ourselves, so I guess we could just push it out a week. Oh, that sucks, but okay, we'll move it out a week. Because all of these deadlines are made up. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Mostly comes from my own experience of putting academics above my physical and mental health, and it
Damn near killed me. Don't put others through that. Yeah.
yeah.
I do remember one professor being like, if you're having trouble or like struggling, come talk to me like sooner than later. Because I can't do anything if you come to me at the end of the quarter crying in my office. I can't do anything. And I'm like, technically you can, but
You just you're kind of just choosing not to at that point.
kind of. But it is also like, it's harder for them to help if the student doesn't reach out until they're like breaking down in the office at the end of the semester going, I can't fail.
Yeah, but I've also had professors who said that, and I went for at like near the beginning, and they were still like, yeah, nothing I can do, or not much I can do, and I'm like,
I mean, there was the professor I had who, I think she came out as trans and then chilled out a lot more because she'd had a reputation before that of being like really strict, really harsh. But that didn't work so great for me because then since she had chilled out so much, I went to like say, hey, I've been working on this group project. It's like the entire term. And this one member of our team is not like participating whatsoever. He doesn't come to half the meetings. When he does come, he's on his phone making like huffy noises about how annoyed he is to have to be there and stuff. Doesn't do shit and brags about how he doesn't do anything at work. Like what? That's so useless. And then so I was like, yeah, so we're getting really stellar grades, but he's not doing anything. And we would like to remove him from our group or something because we don't think it's fair that he's getting like stellar grades on our hard work. She's like, well, I can't really do anything, but I can add another member to your team if that helps. And I'm like, that's not the problem here.
Problem is removing, not adding.
Yeah, like I think she did add another person, and it is kind of nice to have another person at least so that we were responsible for slightly less because we had a useless member of our group, so at least it sort of evened out. But it's still just like, yeah, so he entirely got credit on our hard work. I was just like, all right, and I complained like 2 or 3 times. And I think she did finally dock his grade down a bit, but it went from like an A to like a C. I'm just like, if you didn't do jack shit on the project, like, I don't think this is fair.
Yeah, no.
It didn't help though that none of my classmates like had time to go to her office hours, so it was always just me showing up like, hey, about this.
Yeah.
Most professors have the policy of like, oh, we'll give you resources to help as long as you have like medical proof that you need help, smiley smiley, which I don't care for because I know that getting that proof can be difficult due to bias in medicine, and sometimes you're not in the spot where you're comfortable with a diagnosis of sorts. You just want some help. Yes.
Or you're
also depending what kind, not just bias in medicine, but I know like an ADHD diagnosis can be really difficult to get as an adult. Not even necessarily due to bias, but just because people are like, some doctors are wary of people who just want like Adderall and Ritalin prescriptions or whatever it is.
There is a little bit of bias due to people just being like, oh, you'll grow out of it. Like growing out of ADHD. My brother claimed
for a long time that he had grown out of it, and now he's dealing with it again.
Yeah, like growing out of ADHD, not a thing.
Yeah. I mean, we just stop hearing about it once it stops being a problem for the parents.
Yeah, literally, it's a problem for other people rather than trying to treat.
I mean, autism gets treated the same way, right?
Yep.
The autism speaks bullshit and all that.
Yep.
We actually did a mental health panel thing at work recently that I was helping organize,
Mhm.
and there were a couple of the speakers who were like, "Oh, I'm the parent of someone who has like mental health issues or mental health needs or whatever," um, and I was like, "Okay, let's be really careful
Yes.
with this. Whoever is moderating, like, will need to make sure it doesn't go into like that kind of thing." Which I freaked out because at one point in the panel, um, one of the questions I had added for the panel, because most of them were about work, and I was like, okay, there's life beyond work.
There's life beyond
Half
work.
it's lots of times work is the reason for the mental health stuff. I don't want to
Mhm.
all focus in on work, but I was like, okay, so what are like one of the reasons people don't want to seek help is because of misconceptions. So talk about the misconceptions in your case, like common misconceptions and how people can help combat it. And one of one of the parents was just like, yeah, it can be hard to talk about because like their kid hadn't had a diagnosis yet. And so they just started going on about like, oh, some people can think it's just laziness or something and blah 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 because he like dropped out of school and is just living at home with us. And so sometimes we don't have like the energy to explain or whatever. So we just don't talk about him. And I'm like,
That's such a terrible thing to
that's a terrible
say.
answer.
Yes, oh my gosh.
Yeah, parents can be difficult. My mom at times focuses more on how my mental health stuff affects her as opposed to me. The person with the mental. Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
That
Oh,
no to
yeah.
all that.
Yeah. I was just sitting there like, this is terrible advice for the panel. You
Yeah.
should not be spreading around. Well, we don't really know how to talk about our son, so we just don't talk about him. We just don't bring him up. And it wasn't even like
See,
the
imagine
way
if
it
the
was
son heard
phrased.
that.
I know.
Like, oh
The
my
way it was
gosh.
phrased was almost as if they were suggesting that they just pretend not to have a son or something. And I'm just like, that's terrible. That's awful advice. Please shut the fuck up now. Don't tell people, oh, we just don't talk about him. That's the wrong answer.
That sounds like something they did in like the 30s and 40s, where it's just like, oh, this one's problematic, so let's only act like we have 2 kids instead of 3.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
I mean, like, I get it. It's difficult. You don't always have like the
yeah,
energy to explain, but it's so bad to be like, so we just don't talk about him.
yeah.
A lot of times we just don't talk about him. And I'm like, that's not helpful. That's not useful. And if you're the person who has the mental health issues and you're listening to this panel, like, wow.
Yeah,
Well, I sure feel like shit now. Good thing
yeah.
my parents don't know shit.
And that's like the whole parents with mental health could sometimes be, oh, our child has mental health, therefore we're experts. We know what we're talking about, and it's like,
I mean, the whole autism speaks thing talking about autistic children is like a burden on the parents. Always pisses me off. And there was
yeah.
I mean, they're not the only ones.
Yeah.
There was one so this is so disappointing because I got this bag of chips and as I was eating them on the back, it was saying like, oh, we really believe in like charity and giving back. So every bag of chips or whatever goes towards this charity. And I was like, okay. And it was, I think, an autism related charity. So I looked it up. It's the same Autism Speaks style of like how difficult it can be for families where they have an autistic person. I'm just like, so I'm not buying this brand of chips anymore.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. Oh well. I think it was like Deep River chips or something. I don't know, something like that. If anyone else wants to avoid them, I guess. PSA.
No. No.
Yeah. I hope that our generation creates more professors who are more understanding of that. Although that is, I don't know. Sometimes I realize how many people from our generation also don't just regularly make, like, yeah, I want to die, don't you? Jokes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. I
Yeah.
guess that's not the norm.
No, it's not. Sadly. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I had just retweeted a thing of like, do you ever want to, like, do you have thoughts of wanting to die and stuff? And they're like, yeah, but like only the normal amount. And the therapist is like, the normal amount is 0. Oh.
No, the normal amount is a non-zero number, but not a high number. Anyway, you go do laundry stuff.
I also saw a response to that one, which was horrifying.
Oh.
But is also like, oof, understandable. Was I think it was like a therapist intake session or something, where their therapist was asking like, have you ever been sexually assaulted? And they're like, yeah, but like no more than anyone else I know.
Ooh. Oh, also like, yeah, understandable, but also like, oh no.
Like oof, oof.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But also, oh, that's ouch. That's terrible.
Terrifying comments.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Aces stream.
Do you want to die? Us too.
30
Don't worry,
minutes
we're
in.
not gonna do anything though.
30
Please
minutes
don't
in.
hurt yourself.
We're only 3 lines past where we started. Also, no, please don't self-harm, please.
Like PSA, don't self-harm. The self-help, self-harm, whatever hotlines are out there, etc., etc.
Yes.
If you ever want to talk to us, like, we've got the Discord and stuff.
Yeah.
But also in the joking way. We just like slightly.
You go do laundry.
Okay.
I'll be here. I'll exist.
See, I'm resisting getting up because that means I have to meander my way down because I can't move faster than a meander pace right now, and that frustrates
Well, if you
me.
don't do it now, it's going to continue until we end the stream.
I know.
So it's either now or I'm continuing the game.
I'll go at my meandering pace.
Nah.
Stitches in my belly.
Stitches, stitches, stitches.
Yeah,
Love
like the Animal Crossing character, who's very cute.
Love whenever I make a joke about my own mental health and a friend kind of pauses for a moment and be like, that. So I say, that was a joke. You can laugh. This is not serious.
It's like, oh, do you experience depression? Like thoughts of depression? Oh no, that was the question. It was like, oh, do you experience thoughts of depression and anxiety? Yeah, but who doesn't? Am I right? Therapist. The normal amount is none.
Have you met this
Although
generation?
I don't believe that.
Have you met this generation?
In this current pandemic and everything, especially, I do not believe that the average amount is 0.
Go do laundry.
Okay. I'll go slowly make my way down. It might be like 20 minutes or more till I get back though. Heads up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I had on last Thursday, I had a friend message me and was basically just like, I don't know if you stream today, but like, wanna come hang out? And I was like, oh, I have therapy. Then my therapy got canceled. just because of therapist not feeling the best. So I'm like, cool, let's hang out. I was there until 1 a.m. because we were all just like, we needed to just sit here and talk and be around other people because it's been a long time since we were just able to sit here and talk around other people like it was a while ago, and like life is hard and sometimes you just need to do that. And we weren't even talking about anything like super like crazy. It was kind of just like, okay, like we spent like some time talking about like some shows or some time talking about this. I was talking about my rogue. We talked about like the rogue Pathfinder, rogue D&D character I'm making, and we talked about other people's characters. I was kind of just like, this feels nice. Woo, socialization! Yeah. It wasn't great to get home at like 2 a.m. and then have to wake up at like 7 to make sure we can clock into work properly. But like, I did it. The man continues on his way. Lupin watches the man leave with a puzzled expression. Gosh dang it! It's kind of just like, I've been feeling very like, and we are proud of you. I've been feeling very, very stressed, just because of work. Like, I know you don't, work's been very bad to the point where I'm like, maybe I should just pack up and leave because this isn't gonna get better at all. And they're kind of like expecting me to work 10-hour days or more, and they keep piling on all this work and then saying like we need it done immediately, and it's not fun. So it, and like stress on friends and stuff, so it's just always good to be like, we're around other people and we can just do things and we can just not have to worry about all this crap. I am a very introverted person, but man, sometimes socializing can be very helpful. That's fair. I'm assuming they're not off. So I got a promotion like half a year ago or so at this point. And then like 2 months later, I got like a $3 raise. But like, I'm obviously like, I got a raise a few months ago. I'm not getting another raise anytime soon. And it's obviously every job's going to have some stressful points to it. That's kind of just the way jobs are. But it's like, I got brought in to help with this like big company crap. And like mid-August, and right now they're saying it may end in December, ? And it may lighten up later this month / next, or later next month / beginning of November. But I don't believe that. Because holy crap, this is like crazy. and just so at some point I may be just looking elsewhere because I can get paid more in other places and not be wanting to either pull my hair out or go gray when I'm only 27. Which is gonna be great. It's actually been on one hand, it's very funny because I have my boss and their boss, and my boss is like, man, I want you, like, go back to school, get your degree, and get a job, elsewhere, like, do good, like, don't stay here, don't stay here. You could be better off elsewhere. And then my boss's boss, like, every once in a while messages me like, oh, I'm so glad to have you here. Like, you're so important to us. Like, we love you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ah, yes. One knows I can do better elsewhere. The other one's like, ah, crap, I'm screwed if he's gone. The dichotomy of life. Which one shall we choose? Oh, it's like Undertale. We can either choose the further answer or the not further answer. And apparently magic likes violence. Okay, let's see if I can get past this line and not have another Satan line real quick. Oh, what's the matter? I do like, but did you like Friday's violence? Is the question. Oh. But not against Cow Mom! Well, don't worry, there's no more violence against Cow Mom. That won't happen again. You don't have to worry about that. Oh, I just thought it was strange that I didn't notice that man approaching. I hope my perception isn't getting dull. Sobs harder. Hey, don't say that. You're scaring me. Dang it. Okay, I guess we're staying here. I mean, technically, we can roll back time. No, we can't roll back time. We would have to restart the game at that point. But chat chose violence, so we're going violence. I might cry near the end of it, but we chose violence. Let me think. What else has been going on? They're like, don't you know that anime trope where like the shines on the glasses to be like, eh, like, ah, yes. Like, it's literally just a shine on the glasses. It's a trope? I don't know how much you watch anime, Magic. I'm guessing with a PhD being had not much, question mark? Ah, true. I'm still like, where Mary Shelley would feel about this. Well, look, the first thing that's wrong, he's not making a monster who he wants to immediately kill. Boom, already has something wrong. All the clockwork stuff, boom, something wrong. Oh, Sharky, you fool. Anime is well loved by a fair amount of academics. Academics your age or your teachers? I'd love to hear you and your teacher have a discussion on anime. Please, tell me which anime you and your teachers have talked about. Who amongst us hasn't carried out an experiment that they immediately hated and went to bury away in the depths of their mind? Me? I haven't carried out any experiments. Magic, are you okay? Have you done something irredeemable? No. Magic. That no doesn't sound too sure. Are you actually saying no, or are you saying no to hide it away from your parents? But if we ever do a channel IRL meetup, I'll bring chemistry since we can the pain of science. Oh my gosh. I would... On one hand, I'm like, yeah, we should meet up. And on the other hand, I'm like, oh no. Then y'all wouldn't actually know what I look like. Unless I'm in, like, an actual, Sharky, quote-unquote, costume. But even then, if we ate food, you would know what I look like. And that sounds slightly terrifying. Actually, that was something that I think I've talked about with some friends. In the high school that we can all eat separately, question mark? No, I don't care. One of the things that I've talked about with friends is in my high school, we didn't really ever do, like, experiments. Like, I've dissected a frog. I don't think we dissected the pig the year that I did biology because I think they couldn't get any. But I have done a frog. I forget. Did I do the pig? I don't remember. I know that, but like, that's really the only experiment, quote unquote, that I've done. I don't, like, we didn't really do anything. It was all like, okay, this is the chapters in the books. Cool, cool. Time for test. And I feel like I've talked with, like, Satan and some others, and they're like, oh yeah, did you do this experiment? Did you do this one? Did you do this one? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Like, in chemistry, we didn't do anything. My teacher was awesome, and I loved him to death, but, like, we didn't do anything. Especially, there were, like, some days where there was, like, 4 people who were out, and he was just like, there's too many people out. Let's just have a free period. Let's just do whatever. I don't care. There's too many people out. I don't feel like teaching. So I can't really say I've learned science. Because... checks out. I'm glad you approve, Magic? I will learn you a science.
How much have I missed?
We
See.
well, we talked about my work. We talked about me socializing. Violence on
Magic likes violence, but not against Cow Mom.
sobs harder.
And I'm assuming this is a comment about Frankenstein's glasses.
Yes.
How would Mary Shelley feel about all this? Oh, Sharky, you fool. Anime is well loved by a fair amount of academics.
Which I then
Who
asked.
amongst them hasn't carried out an experiment that they immediately hated and wanted to bury away in the depths of their mind forever?
Then I asked, Magic, have you carried out said experiment? No.
Look, even as an engineer, you can carry out an experiment that you immediately hate and want to bury away in the depths of their mind forever. Yes, please bring chemistry sets to any real life meetups. That sounds great.
And then I'm like, oh, part of me would be like, yeah, let's do a meetup. And part of me would be like, oh my gosh, you'll know what I look like. I won't be a shark.
You know, you'll have to get goggles that fog up entirely like Frankenstein's glasses here.
And then I started talking about
Elephant toothpaste. Wait, what?
me not really learning science in high school. And not really doing it like there weren't really experiments in my high school or like lab periods or anything like that.
I'm trying to remember. I was thinking about this the other day for no apparent reason. Was it that you weren't taught evolution or that you didn't believe in evolution?
This is a very
Back
good
then.
demo. Both?
Sorry, I'm just calling you out on the spot, I guess.
Both? Well, one of the things I also mentioned was in chemistry class, if there was like 4 people out, my teacher would just be like, it's a free period. There's too many people out and I don't feel like teaching.
Sorry for just calling you out as someone who doesn't believe in evolution, I guess. Science child, we must help teach your father a science.
And I couldn't really get far because lines.
You're probably just tired. Oh yeah, I just developed a medicine that makes you cheerful. Would you like some?
No, that sounds incredibly shady.
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
I don't remember, like, I've heard so many people meme about that, but I don't really remember that being that big of a thing in high school. Like, yeah, I learned, like, the cell... Like, I learned the cell structure, but, like, that wasn't really, like, I don't know where that came from.
I remember that being, like, the exact line. I don't know how it became, like, a meme.
I don't really
But,
remember
like-
that being the exact line that I learned, but also that's probably because I went to private Christian high school.
Uh-huh. Probably. Lupin? What should I do?
Murder cow mom.
No. That's what Sharky does. This is AC.
Oh, that's right. I never told you. Your part in this plan is up to you.
That's kind of important to tell, actually, Lupin.
Yeah.
I get to choose?
Either you can go with Van Helsing and Victor and be in charge of disconnecting the rail car with the guards. Or you can come along with Impey and the Count and help me out. I think part of it is because it sticks and people said the best. Like if I asked someone, hey, what does Golgi do? They may or may not remember, but people remember the mitochondria. What the crap is a Golgi? I don't think I've ever seen that word in my life.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably similar to what sticks in people's heads. Because did other people also have the like, yes, the alligator goes to eat the bigger number? For less than versus a greater than?
Yes, but I always change it to Pac-Man because I'm a nerd.
Well,
Waka
I
waka.
learned it before I knew about Pac-Man very much, so okay.
Fair. Yeah, the alligator eats the bigger number.
Yeah. I don't know why that's the thing, but everyone knows it as the gator. It's like a gator.
Chomp chomp. The Golgi apparatus, very nice little organelle that packages up proteins produced in the cell and sends them on their way.
Oh.
Now I'm just thinking of cells at work. And now people said that's like a decent explanation of the body. Either way, your task will be to break one of the connectors. So, it's essentially the same either way. Lupin hands me a small device in a toolbox as he says this. That's a device to break the connector. Attaching it is a bit complicated. Can you do it? Oh, cool. Who do you think trained her? That'll be a piece of cake. Cake.
I've had cake repeatedly this week. Because it was my roommate before.
Cake
So we had a lot of leftover cake, and then I got my friend make her cupcakes as well. And on top of the cake that her parents sent her.
Cake sounds good.
Cake is great. It was a fancy cake too.
I
It's like
studied
chocolate passion fruit.
I studied the device for a while and come to an understanding as to its workings.
Yes, it will be simple. Are you sure you want me to do it?
Also, ooh, that sounds interesting.
What?
The cake. I pressed the button before my brain said the thing.
What?
What? What are you wetting?
Nothing, it's fine. Let's move on.
The connectors won't dislodge so easily while the train is in motion. All the weight of the car is behind, hold it tight. But you... In the worst case scenario, you could use your poison to melt through the connector. And that makes you the best suited for that task out of all of us. We're counting on you.
Okay, I'll try.
Punch the connector! Falcon, punch the connector!
It's maybe more like Falcon tap.
A horrible decision, Lupin. Is it though? Well, we'll
I mean,
see.
Lupin has a point that AC is the best suited to making sure that thing disconnects because AC can just go boop and it will melt.
Yeah. So, like, even if the machine breaks, like, plan B.
Impey fails as an engineer.
Oh, so...
It's fine because AC can still go boop.
So...
Whereas the others might have a bit more difficulty. So
They-
technically he's correct.
Yeah. Now, is it a good decision as to, like, what the outcome's gonna be? Who knows? We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll split into two teams. Impey, Saint Germain, and myself will leave the station. Victor and Van Helsing board the train. Is you.
I'll.
I guess we'll go with Impey.
Yeah.
After the train leaves with Van Helsing and Victor, it makes its way through the city. We drive ahead, following the tracks, and when at last no more buildings are in sight, Impey brings it to a noisy stop. A figure appears from the moonlight ahead. Tuxedo Man. Tuxedo Mask? I don't know his name.
Sorry, Tuxedo Mask is Lupin here. I've been waiting for you.
That hat!
Uh-huh. It's got a tail. Like, quite a tail.
I guess you...
Oops, the fuck? This is Saint Germain. Elderflower liqueur.
Are you saying whoops to Tuxedo Mask?
Hmm?
He smiles as he greets us. We climb down from the automobile and join him.
I'm still trying to think of what Sharky's phrase to turn into Sailor Sharky is.
You don't need to think about that!
We really need to come up with one.
No!
Magic, do you have any ideas?
We don't! Hey, St. G! Thanks for keeping watch. How's it been?
It's just as we'd expected. There is no one here. We really do. See? Magic. Please. You gotta figure it out.
Magic, you shouldn't listen to your monster here.
Well, are you suggesting that Magic should listen to their father?
I'm also a bad influence. Papa?
Papa?
Yes, my child.
Don't you want to transform into Sailor Sharky for your child?
No!
But what fun it would be for the child.
What's next? Y'all are gonna try to figure out stuffing me into a Sailor Sharky costume?
I'm sure I know a cosplayer or two who would help with that. We'll put a giant shark head on your head, and we'll put the Sailor Sharky costume on you, which is really just an Ashley cosplay, actually.
Papa? Please,
Please,
what?
Papa.
Please what? What are you pleasing?
And in real life, meetup in which Magic teaches us science, and you come dressed as Sailor Sharky.
I thought I was gonna dress up as normal Sharky. We're Professor Sharky.
You can be Sailor Sharky with a professor hat on. I think you can do that. That's fine.
How would that work with the tiara?
I don't think it was a tiara, right? It was like a hair bow.
Oh, I don't remember.
I believe so.
The railroad line that the disconnected train car will arrive on is a little ways ahead. The reason why this location was chosen as our meeting spot is because it was a convenient place to land the ornithopter.
Yeah, it's just a little bow.
I'm sorry to ask you to do this.
Oh, it's hardly a bother. I've been enjoying pretending to play the detective.
But also, like, I don't need to cosplay as Sailor Sharky.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Sure you do.
Why would
Please,
that...
Papa!
Why would that be my first cosplay?
For magic's sake.
Can
For
it
the
be...
sake of your stream child. I mean, I'd offer up to dress as Sailor Satan to join you, but I don't think anyone actually cares about that. But I'm not opposed.
Pretending, huh? It's not a game, you know. Lupin sighs as if releasing tension, then looks around at us.
Saint Germain's like, what are you talking about? I keep all of you around as toys. Entertain me, fools.
No, we must have the Sailor Squad together.
Okay. I mean, mine's basically, like, not that far off from Sailor Saturn, so, like, that's pretty simple. I can just find a Sailor Saturn outfit, and then I don't know how I would get a bat thing. Maybe I can get Batwing somewhere. It is almost Halloween. I can get Batwings. I have red demon wings. My bat doesn't have red wings. My bat has black wings, so I'd have to find black Batwing somewhere.
Yes, your bat has bat wings, kind of like how bats bat.
Uh-huh. Are you gonna have to get a shark tail?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Shark tail,
Technically, that'd be my feet.
I guess. Huh?
Technically, that'd be my feet.
Well, you can just attach the shark tail from like this, like from your torso, like a
Okay.
tail.
Okay, but like those would technically be my feet.
Yeah, but you still need to be able to walk around, probably. Presumably. I don't know, actually. I mean,
No.
for that matter, then I wouldn't have arms, but you know, we're not letting that stop us.
Now, we'll be launching our mission to capture the leader. The first step?
The first step?
Get really drunk.
Magic, does this mean that you
Because
are offering to also be a sailor child, though? Chibiusa magic.
we wait. I can't help but feel a little let down by Lupin's words. I may be nervous, but I'm still looking forward to what comes next.
We're going to wait here?
I didn't think about that. Well, if we're
How
supposed
many members of the Discord would be willing to dress up in sailor uniforms?
to...
For
Willing? Willing?
Uh-huh.
Well, you're already counting me out.
Well, you don't have a choice.
Rude?
I mean, like, I could dress up as Sailor Satan, but I think unless they're Sailor Sharky, it's really not that exciting for everyone. We don't even use the Sailor Satan thing. Sailor Sharky. Sailor Sharky is where it's at.
No, it's really not.
It is.
It's really not. Yep. You've arrived earlier than planned. Don't worry, Victor and Van Helsing will get the job done on the train. Or either will die, whichever happens first.
Hmm?
I'm going to stay here and prepare my gentlemanly attire. And also go over the plan. You others can do as you like.
Gentlemanly attire? Yeah,
Yes,
I'm to turn into Tuxedo Mask.
of course. A gentleman thief must always have style when on the job. Because I don't...
priorities are fascinating.
Yes.
Top priority for a heist, fashion.
Well, how else will they know who's who? With Lupin in high spirits, we decide to use our time freely until further instruction. Dot 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 dot. I look up at the moon in a daze, but my anxiety over the mission is mounting. Mood. Will I be able to do what's needed of me when it comes time to act? Thinking this makes me even more nervous. I wonder what the others are up to. Gosh dang it!
Hmm?
I hate that I can't use the stick to make selections. Every flipping time! You would think I would learn, but no!
I would think you would learn.
But Sharky's
I
a dumb...
learned.
But Sharky's a dum-dum and he don't learn. Wonder what Impey is doing. We find him tinkering with the ornithopter, which is a key factor to this mission. Also, I just sounded a little Jar Jar Binksy before this.
Hmm?
When I was like, I don't learn! Small explosions keep going off, and smoke rises from different parts of the machine. Lupin said he was going to fly to the train in that, but... will it fly at all now?
Impey? Is everything alright?
Hey, AC. Yeah, everything's fine. Isn't it a saying that success is built upon countless failures?
Um,
Oh, don't even worry about that. I just picture it, the very moment you fall in love with me as we cruise through the sky.
that doesn't sound like a real thing.
And she's smiling. Like,
I love AC.
that doesn't sound like a real thing.
MC in this
Smile.
game is just like brutal about that kind of thing. Like, that doesn't sound real. You're absolutely full of shit. Anyway,
I laugh a little as I say this. ...
Impey? What's the matter?
Huh? Oh, I was just thinking about how nice you look when you smile. That's all. I look down, not knowing how to react. Impey keeps saying things like that to me, encouraging me to smile more. And then I don't know how to respond, and I feel even more embarrassed.
There's Tuxedo Mask.
Gosh dang it, Lupin. It's a little early, but we have to take off now. Something's come up. Lupin looks at us with a serious expression as we gather around. What is with that cane?
Yes.
How,
Part of his gentlemanly attire.
how much money did he spend on that?
Probably none. He probably just took it.
Fair.
You assume he bought it. This is a gentleman thief. What's happened, Lupin? Could it be the wind? Wind? The wind is weak now, but it shows signs of becoming stronger. Perhaps even a storm is brewing.
I look up at the skies. Everything is still so calm. Like the calm before a storm.
What? The Great Calm?
Is that my brain is farting. Why is my brain farting? Oh, brain!
I'm waiting to see what you think I'm referencing. So I'm gonna laugh if you get it wrong.
I know you will, because I know there's a reference and my brain's not allowing me to think up the reference.
It's funny because it's such an obvious fucking reference. It should be for you.
Um, Final Fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one with the calm.
I can't. My brain doesn't allow me to remember.
Good job. Gold star for Sharky.
It's my favorite Final Fantasy, and my brain won't let me remember.
I know. That's why I was like, it should be really obvious to you.
What? That's not good. The Ornithopter can't fly if the wind is too strong.
Should we cancel the plan?
No. It's been a stressful week. We'll cut some slack this time. We need to wrap. We need to wrap this up before the wind picks up. The mission is already in motion. We can't leave the others behind. I nod in agreement. Let's go over our steps. Victor and Van Helsing are likely in the battle on that train as we speak, after which they are to disengage the rear car. While those two attract the attention of the guards, Impey, you, and I will close in from the skies in the Ornithopter. Impey will remain in flight to secure our escape routes. We'll cut the leaders in off, and pull it to the branch line. Count, once the target arrives, you'll need to secure him. You're in charge of our escape in the automobile.
Leave it to me.
Impey, is the Ornithopter ready? Of course! It's in amazing condition! Wait till explosion. Darn. Impey points to a large winged machine sitting in the moonlight. An ornithopter. Small airship that flies by flapping its wings at high speed. You look like you doubt me. Like, are you sure you can fly that thing if the winds get strong?
No, that's not it at all. Not at all.
Seeing is believing. I'll show you by actually flying it. Then, let's get going. With Lupin's words as a signal, we quickly board the ornithopter. We all managed to get on, but...
So cramped.
Hey, why is this thing so small? This is only meant for one occupant. Can barely accommodate two, so of course it's gonna be cramped with three. You should have known this before we started the plan, Lupin.
Uh-huh.
Could you build us a 3-seater model really quick? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
You two, stop shoving. You'll melt if you touch my skin.
I love how apparently this wasn't the part. It's intricately crafted plan that they had months to prepare for.
Uh-huh.
They didn't think.
Or was it like a month?
I don't remember.
It was like a month or so.
But,
like not very long.
But like, they didn't think about this part.
Uh-huh. Impey didn't bring it up even as Lupin was explaining the ornithopter's role in the plan or anything.
No brain cells amongst this group. Yes.
There is one brain cell here.
And Saint Germain has it?
Yes. And he's laughing. He's using it to laugh.
Just like there's one brain cell in between us.
Yep.
And you have it?
I thought it was combined we have one brain cell.
Or something like that. I don't know. I don't have any brain cells. Whoa! Oh, that's
Or
right.
I have the one brain cell and I'm also using it to laugh. I mean, I would also accept that.
That's right. Let's play nice and just sit together, Lupin. Suppose this is no time to mess around. Impey, let's take off. Aye aye! Hold on tight. It's time to take the two of you on a delightful journey in the sky. The machine shoots out a blast of steam and its wings begin to flap, 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 flap. Suddenly, the machine lifts off the ground.
It's flying, Impey.
The wings start going
Shocking.
faster and faster with tremendous force. This flying machine was created by the world's most brilliant engineer. Me! Of course it's gonna fly! Despite his confidence, the machine suddenly tips, nearly throwing us out into the air. Lupin reacts quickly and grabs me. Whoa, whoa! Impey, can't you control this thing a bit better? We're going to fall out before we get to the train. Like I said, it's made to seat one. It'll stabilize once it gets up to speed, so just hang in there.
I'm hanging on.
All right, let's go. With Impey's shout, the ornithopter picks up speed. It flies through the air, cutting through the night sky at great speed. Nice! This piece of junk is doing pretty well today. I'll not have that slur used against my machines. Whatever Impey Barbicane builds is always incredibly stable. I wouldn't call this incredibly stable, but for now, the ornithopter is traveling at an unbelievable rate. Wouldn't take us long to catch up with the train. I catch sight of the railway below us. Then I see a lone rail car sitting by itself on the tracks. Ha! There it is! That must mean that our assault team is doing well. Looks that way. Let's follow them. Ah, the conversations between Sharky and Sharky. However, only a short time later, Lupin and Saint Germain's prediction is unfortunately true. The weather suddenly takes a turn for the worse, and a forceful wind hits us. My sense of equilibrium is thrown off because of the intense turbulence. Ah! Come on! Come on! Impey desperately tries to control the ornithopter, which is being shaken every which way by the wind. Hey, Lupin, where's the train? Oh, we're gonna crash before we reach it! We're almost there. You have to keep going. We hear the train's whistle from far off. A tiny light shines ahead on the dark rails. That must be the locomotive. Impey, can you get us closer? I'll do what I can!
Ooh, this art is pretty.
Impey goads the ornithopter into more speed, and little by little, we begin to close in on the train. It's very pretty. Also, it's giving me a slight headache. I hear the powerful noise of the engine. Finally, Impey draws the ornithopter parallel to the last train cars. However, we can't go further ahead. The car we need to break the connector on is up ahead. Impey, go faster! Already at full speed, I can barely keep up with the train. As they go back and forth, I hear a gunshot from within the train.
That was Van Helsing's shotgun.
Oh, it would seem there are still some guards on board. We don't have a choice, Impey. Get us as close as you can to this car. We'll take care of the rest. Right. I guess it's time to reveal my secret weapon. I mean, true, it could just be a guard.
How the fuck do you know it's Van Helsing? I guess Van Helsing has a very distinctive shotgun.
Impey,
I mean, I would expect, I guess, that the guards generally have, like, a standard type of gun that they're all carrying. So...
But would AC know that?
AC's been getting trained
True.
for, like, months now.
Impey presses a button on the control stick, and an intense blast of steam shoots out of the rear of the ornithopter.
Did it not carry a gasp?
No, I didn't hear gasp.
Did an AC gasp?
There's the AC gasp.
There you go.
The ornithopter picks up speed, propelled by the force of the steam. This won't last long. Jump off when you can. All right, but with this wind, we won't be able to count on Impey for help. Brain.
Mademoiselle?
Mademoiselle, you stay behind.
No, I'm coming with you!
My brain's not working today. Sharky.exe has failed.
Maybe Sharky.exe should try a caffeine plugin.
I've tried.
You need every last bit of help you can get the way things are going. We're already shorthanded. And...
The caffeine plugin caused a few more errors. It also extended Sharky.nap.
you trained me. I promise I'll be useful.
Huh. That's a pretty speech. I won't stop you then. Come on.
Right.
Left! Lupin holds me tightly to him. I relax my body, trusting myself to his hands. I'm floating in the air, and in the next moment, we're on the roof! Also magic. I'll come pick you up once the winds die down. Don't die, you two!
Thanks.
Try not to die!
But what if I want to?
Not allowed. You have to be Magic's monster!
Okay, so the same applies to you and being Magic's father, right?
No.
Yes. It does.
No.
It does.
Not.
Yeah, it does. It's the same.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Waved to Impey as the ornithopter flies away, then turned to look at Lupin. But you can teach magic more than I can.
I wasn't aware that I was Magic's professor. I thought that was your job.
I'm not Magic's professor. I don't teach chemistry.
Professor Sharky. It's an elective.
Let's just get inside. The wind here is too strong for us to try walking across. Falling off would not be funny at all. Lupin quickly puts his ear against the train's roof. There's two of them. From the sound of their footsteps, they aren't Van Helsing or Victor.
Then
It'd be kind of funny. I mean, yeah.
like, kind of.
Right. We'll have to go for the surprise attack. I'm putting you in charge of taking one of them out. Can you do it?
Got this.
At worst, I can melt them.
She does have the strongest available weapon, actually.
Yes, she does. Like, even if she can't do it, she can literally just murder one of them.
Or multiple of them. Why stop at one?
True. Lupin breaks one of the train's windows and then slides into the car ahead of me. I follow him through a few seconds later. One of the Twilight soldiers is already on the floor. The other has his back towards me while he squares off against Lupin.
Where did you come from?
I was going to be like, do you want to take this or should I take this? The enemy hasn't noticed me. Now's my chance. I strike him as hard as I can from behind with my hand. He falls to the floor. Whew, that's pretty impressive. I heard you were training in combat too, but I didn't think you were this advanced.
Thanks for distracting him. If I catch someone off guard, I can defeat anyone, even a giant. Cocky.
Why, yes, you just take off your glove and just put your hand against the giant. Boom.
Well,
Defeated.
depending on where on a giant, it might take longer.
I mean, fair. Is that Van Helsing's teaching? Our lady is quite the dependable one. Lupin checks out the train cars ahead. We've strayed from the plan, but we still have to dislodge the connector. We'll keep moving forward and climb onto the roof of the car right before the one the leader is in. Can you move silently? Have you been taught stealth? Roll your stealth checks, everyone.
Lupin, you're the one who should have been teaching stealth. Of course I can. You made sure I learned how.
Have you learned stealth? You're the one who taught me, idiot.
Yep.
Good response.
Let's go, Lupin.
Okay, everyone, roll your d20s. Stealth checks. What? I set off running, but Lupin grabs my arm. Hold on. There's someone behind the seats. Hey, come out now. Lupin shouts towards the last row of seats, and a figure rises from behind them. Who this? Hmm?
Well, I have a suspicion who this is, but
New person, who this?
should you?
Up to you. Who would you rather do it?
If it's who I think it is, I guess they face off against Lupin in a way, so I guess I should. So that you're not having more conversations with yourself down the line. New pattern?
Mm-hmm.
New pattern.
New pattern.
Oh, so you sensed my presence. It would seem you're much more perceptive than what I'd heard. Yep, that's who I thought it was.
I don't recognize the man, but I've heard that voice before.
Are you... Did you bump into Lupin back at the station? Oh, you have a good memory, my lady. That's right, I do apologize for bumping into you earlier.
You're not a member of Twilight, are you? Who are you?
My name is Herlock Sholmes. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Sherlock Sholmes, a young man claiming to be a humble detective. However, his keen insight and eye for detail are far greater than the average person's.
This is not Benedict Cumberbatch. Cumberbugger. Herlock Sholmes. Yes?
Nothing, I'm just being a dum-dum as normal.
You having fun?
No!
Who knows if our meeting is through chance or necessity. When I saw you at the station, I noticed you were suspicious.
How do I know you were suspicious? Because you were talking about kidnapping a guy in the middle of a station?
Uh-huh. And when I overheard your conversation, I was certainly surprised to learn that you were planning a bold kidnapping plot.
In the middle of a station.
In the middle of the station where you were going to be, like, getting on board to carry out said kidnapping plot.
Yeah. I see. So you were eavesdropping on us? Strange. I could have sworn that I was being extremely cautious.
Not at all. You were just openly talking about it. Oh, you think too highly of yourself if you think that you're the only one with a talent for subterfuge. Wouldn't you say, Monsieur Lupin?
So, you know who I am as well. Oof. Scary.
Anyone with a healthy interest in criminology knows your name, Mr. Gentleman Thief.
Isn't that the worst side of being a thief? Being known?
Yeah, kind of. But I guess in Lupin's case, he doesn't mind being known as long as he doesn't get caught.
Bro. Yeah, the second worst thing is getting caught. The man calling himself Sholmes looks at us as if he could see through everything.
Who are you?
Sherlock Sholmes, he just said that!
Okay, but what does that mean? Me? Just a lowly private detective.
A private detective? So you're just an ordinary civilian. Stay out of our way. We don't have time to deal with you.
I wouldn't be so sure. It's a detective's duty to stop a crime in process if he sees one taking place, is it not? I'm terribly sorry. But you're under arrest.
As he says this, he takes a fighting pose. It's nothing grandiose. He simply thrusts his left hand forward, but it makes him a completely different person. He's saying,
Yeah, now he's a person with his left hand forward.
yeah, completely different.
Totally different.
I can tell from Van Helsing's training, this Sholmes is very strong in the Force.
I swear your treatment won't be rough if you surrender to me.
I only beat you half to death.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for the warning, but sorry. We have our own situation to deal with, so, why don't you take a little nap? Lupin points his walking stick at the man and smoke spews from the tip.
Walking stick. One of Lupin's beloved getaway gadgets. Despite its simple appearance, it has a number of functions.
What those functions are, you won't find out.
They're math functions.
No! My greatest enemy, math! In a matter of seconds, a cloud of white smoke has swallowed Sholmes.
Is that Victor's anesthetic?
Lupin grins in response. Even a small whiff of this is enough to bring you to your knees, which is why we're whiffing it in. If he breathes in too much at once.
I don't think so.
Sholmes' hand reaches out from the cloud and Lupin jumps back just in time. When the smoke clears, Sholmes is standing there, looking as calm as ever.
What? How?
Huh? How are you still standing? That's a pretty potent drug.
I'm just like, yes, Sholmes is like, I love drugs.
I mean, wouldn't be too far off.
That's kind of the point
Yeah.
of at least the old Sherlock. I heard you tap the ground with that stick at the station. From the sound of it, I knew it had some sort of trick to it. At first, I thought you had a hidden blade in it, but then I thought it sounded hollow. I deduced it was most likely gas. On top of that, the great Arsène Lupin is known as a gentleman thief. You probably wouldn't carry a lethal weapon. Thus, the gas was likely a smokescreen or a vaporous knockout gas. I've dabbled a bit in the pharmaceutical sciences as well, knowing that it's easy to find countermeasures to protect myself.
But you need to know what kind of drug it was.
Fine. It's just, yeah. He's got countermeasures. It's fine. I covered my mouth with a handkerchief so she could neutralizer I threw together and... Oh, you're gone.
Leave while he's monologuing. Thank you for your valuable opinion. Gave us time to get away. Lupin and I were already running towards the car ahead of us.
I see. You have some great insight, finding opportunities in any situation. However...
Lupin suddenly trips and his mask falls to the ground. Oh no, his secret identity! Whoa,
It's our son Lupin.
what's this?
Lupin, there's a string around your feet.
Sparkling thin string extends all the way back to Sholmes' hand.
You're too self-confident. That's why you didn't even realize that you'd fallen for such a rudimentary trap.
When did you do this?
While you were fighting off the soldiers earlier. When you thought there were only guards on board, you'd already lost.
Good lord! Sholmes begins to wind the string towards him, dragging Lupin across the floor. Whoa, you think you're some sort of spider or something?
Itsy bitsy spider caught Lupin in a web. Detectives need to develop some street magician level techniques in order to catch their targets these days.
Do they though?
These days? I mean, I'd rather that than like police brutality, so.
Fair.
You know, also, I suppose we'll give this one to Sherlock. Herlock. Herlock can have this one.
Yes, Herlock Sholmes.
Mm-hmm. It's a great story because the writer of Lupin was just like, I'm gonna write crossover fanfic between my character and Sherlock. And then the writer of Sherlock was like, excuse me, what? No, you can't do that.
Oh, but it's not Sherlock, it's Herlock.
No, it was Sherlock.
Yeah.
And so then they had to change it to Herlock. It was actually Sherlock at the time. That's why he sued. You gotta let me finish my story. Otherwise, you know, you can't interrupt me with incorrect information. That's no good. It's very rude.
Incorrect information. I thought that was my shtick.
It's very rude to interrupt me with incorrect information to discount my story. What are you? A standard white man? Lupin!
Without thinking, I pull off my glove and grab the string with my bare hand. Just grab Sherlock. Or Herlock.
No, Herlock's too far now. It's no use, my lady. You're no match for my strength. I'm not using my strength!
Well, technically you are. There's a different strength than strength.
It's a different power. Strength and power are different things.
Smoke rises from the string in my hand as it melts, disappearing like a snowflake. Lupin, who had been sliding across the floor this whole time, comes to a stop.
Oh, that was unexpected. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. It's none of your business.
I put my glove back on and glare at him.
That's unfortunate. Either way, I advise you not to turn your back on me.
What are you gonna do, shoot us?
Damn.
This guy is a handful. Lupin starts whispering to me. AC, you go back onto the roof and hold on against the wind. Maybe we'll come for you eventually. Don't worry about me.
I can't do that. Van Helsing and Victor are still fighting, and Sholmes here is tough. If the League's personal guards head this way for some reason, you'd be blocked in on both sides. I have to worry about you, because you're a dumbass.
That's an accurate analysis of the situation.
Glad to know you also know you're a dumbass. I'll break the connector on my own. Then we can pull the train car to the line. And that will cause the car to slow down, making it easier for Impey to come pick up everyone. This way we all have the best chance of making it out alive. You already understand that, don't you?
Can I trust you to get it done?
Yes. You've taught me all the skills I need. Do you think you're sharing secrets over there? I can hear everything. Sholmes is just like, are you guys just openly discussing your plan? I didn't think that the infamous Lupin would have an apprentice. She's quite a cute understudy.
If you think she's only here for her looks, you're going to get hurt. But before you do, I'll show you some pain myself. As Lupin says this, he throws a flash grenade towards Sholmes. I start to run and don't stay to see what happens next. I'm worried about Lupin, but I need to take care of my own task. I leave the train car. The window of the door to the next car is covered by a black curtain. Can't see inside, but that means that whoever's in there can't see me either. I carefully climb the ladder to the roof. The wind outside is so strong. With the train's speed, I might be blown right off the roof if I'm not careful. Sounds fun. Can we try?
Says the one afraid of heights.
Yee! In the howling wind, with my clothes being pulled about, I start making my way across the roof. I have to use all the skills I've learned to head to the other side of the next car without making... I have to use all the skills I've learned to head to the other side of the next car without making any careless noises. I somehow make it to the connector. Looks like I'll be able to take care of this before we reach the track switch. Right before I attach the device, a sudden curiosity makes me turn around. There is no black curtains over the window on this side of the car, and I can see into the interior. But...
What?
there is nobody in the car we were supposed to disconnect. Did Lupin get the wrong car? There's no way. The moment I feel something hard pressed against my temple, I slowly look up and see a man standing there. Ooh, what should he sound like?
He looks old. He looks a little grumpy. But, like, elegant.
I was gonna say, so an old man.
Yeah. Like, gruff, but refined.
Cross your hands behind your head. Don't resist and I won't shoot you. I obey him, moving slowly. He orders me to walk, and the two of us slowly enter another train car. Not the one Lupin and I had planned to disconnect. Caw. Caw. There are almost a dozen soldiers in here. If I had to take on this number of guards by myself, there's no way I could win.
Unless you just take your gloves off. Don't give up. Look for an opportunity.
That's how Lupin had taught me to think when caught in a situation like this. Thanks to his lessons, I was able to calmly observe my surroundings without panicking. Nobody utters a word. The only sound is the rattle of the train along the tracks. Wonder what happened to the others. Did my failure put them all in danger? As I'm thinking this... You certainly are a quiet one.
Hmm?
Several Twilight soldiers stand around me as I sit in the narrow passage, my legs tucked beneath me. The man who captured me is smiling at me in a calm manner that seems oddly out of place in the situation. I wasn't expecting a young girl such as yourself to cry, or I was expecting a young girl such as yourself to cry or scream or make some sort of commotion. It would seem that you would have more self-control than you let on. Or are you merely mute from terror?
Yeah, you can believe that, sure. I'm scared, but it's in times like this that I most need to remain calm.
I see, I see. Wonderful. I'd like some of my men to follow your example of composure. I suppose you are a unique individual after all, to us, and to him, and to the entire world.
Him? The world?
Yes, he is the world. Apparently. What is he talking about? I open my mouth to ask, but I'm cut off by a voice coming from behind the man. New voice, who dis?
I feel like it might be Van Helsing, but I don't remember for sure.
That didn't sound like Van Helsing.
Oh, was there a sound? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, you can't hear it. It sounded like a younger man talking.
I don't know. This conversation is unnecessary, Alistair.
Fine. Be your usual cruel self, denying this old fool the joy of conversation. The man referred to as Alistair chuckles to himself and moves aside. The person standing behind him is...
Yeah.
Who dis?
It's been a while. I don't remember very well. We finally meet, sister.
Sister?
Sister.
Sister?
We finally meet, sister.
The speaker is a young boy sitting on an armrest of one of the train seats. Gasp! Shock! The twist! His hair is a white golden color. His eyes are jade, each a different shade. His voice is as cold as ice, and he turns a thin smile towards me.
Sister? Who are you? Oh, that's right. You wouldn't know who I am. You are always asleep. You only awoke a year or so ago, but you have knowledge, don't you, sister?
Do we?
Some kind of knowledge. You and I share the same father. That would make it a simple matter to figure out why I call you my sister, yes?
Okay, but whomst are you?
Whomst?
Sister. That means we must be related by blood.
It was just explained you have the same father.
And he has a connection with my father.
Would it be... Are you my younger brother?
What?
AC, this means nothing right now.
The boy nods, satisfied.
Yes, indeed. I am your younger brother. My name is Phineas. What's more, I am currently the leader of Twilight, and the person you've come here for.
Oh, good lord.
Hmm?
Nothing, nothing.
How can you be my brother?
Well, when a man and a woman have a child and then have another child, boom, they're siblings.
I mean, like, you can also have adopted siblings and they're valid.
True.
And in this case especially, I'm like, are you sure that's how they were born?
I don't know, maybe he made both of them.
AC
Like-
has a fucking poison gem just like in her chest. He seems to have something on his forehead that has like dots, so it's the truth. I am your brother, your one and only remaining family member.
Daddy's dead? I'm so
I
surprised.
killed him personally because I'm evil.
I'm so surprised I forgot to breathe. Can't believe I have a brother. And that this sibling sitting right in front of me is Twilight Commander. Who could have imagined it?
You and I have inherited the dreams of our father, Isaac Beckford. We inherited his dreams?
I can't help but repeat what he said because that's what I do when anybody talks to me.
Do I surprise you? Of course. Anyone would react this way in discovering that the people hunting you are led by family.
That wouldn't really surprise me.
I think the thing that would be surprising to you is if your family was at upper echelons of the government.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like that'd be the part that's surprising.
How did you get here?
What's more, you have something you want to ask me, don't you? About why Twilight wants you? About the horologium. How did we end up saying
Horologium.
horologium in your chest? About your memory, perhaps? Why your body is filled with poison and what it is?
All valid questions.
And, of course, about whether or not it is possible to remove that poison.
Another valid question.
How did you know?
Because we have a bug planted on Lupin Tat.
How? You're funny.
Oh, we like to crack jokes every once in a while here on the stream.
You and your crew tried to trap me, but you fell into our trap instead.
The tweet.
I leaked the information that I would be aboard this train, knowing it would reach your ears.
How? How did you know that?
By leaking information.
Just because you leak it doesn't necessarily mean you'll get to the correct person.
Depending who you leak it to, yes, it does. And again, as head of, like, a secret government agency, like, at the upper, highest echelons of the country, yeah. Yeah, that makes absolute sense. With just a touch of a lie regarding the amount of security that would be with me. I just wanted to meet you already, so I threw out some bait to lure you in.
Are we fishing? We're not playing Stardew right now.
Maybe we're playing Rune Factory.
Hmm.
Oh, is all this new information confusing to you?
Everything's confusing to me. Please, let's start back at the beginning.
Don't worry. We can go over all of it again. Later. This probably isn't a very relaxing place for you.
You think?
Look at my buns. I have space buns. I am Princess Leia. Alistair, we've secured my sister. Let's go.
A dull explosion shakes me to the core. The man who had me at gunpoint earlier nods. You've just wrapped things up as well. I turn back and see the train car behind us falling behind, getting further away. This means that I've been isolated from Lupin and the others.
No more interruptions. Now we just...
Suddenly, the window shatters as someone leaps through the glass to stand between Finis and me. Wow. The Twilight soldiers relax. The Twilight soldiers react quickly, but faster still, Lori. What is that word?
Fusillade?
I've never seen it. Fusillade of gunshots that takes them down one after another?
It might be fusillade, I don't know. I've seen it.
Well, time for Google it.
Fusillade.
Fusillade, apparently.
Fusillade?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Seems you spoke too soon. We have an unwanted visitor, Alistair. Looks like you didn't quite finish your job.
Don't be too hard on me. Most plans go awry when you're up against the human weapon.
Thank you, Van
Helsing doesn't let me finish. He holds up a hand to stop me and keeps his distance, staring at Finis. Nobody move. If anyone so much as lifts a finger, I will shoot this man. I'll shoot Finis. Van Helsing points a gun at Finis. He is completely calm and seems to have firmly set his mind on a course of action. Murder. Sensing his tense, murderous intent, the few conscious soldiers around us show no signs of taking action.
Now, who do we have here? The infamous Abraham Van Helsing himself. It's been a while, hasn't it? When did we last speak?
Probably like a few months ago. Wyatt.
You've always been nothing but empty threats. Why don't you just pull that trigger instead of wasting our time?
Shut up.
Aim well. The head, heart. Strike out at any part you like.
I said shut up! Van Helsing roars in agitation, and his gun roars along with him. Part of the... Gun go roar! Part of the metal seat beside Finis is twisted out of shape in an instant. Try to joke around with me again. I will kill you without hesitation.
Kill me? You can't kill me. It's impossible.
Would you like to see me try?
That's not what the line says.
Or would you like to... Whatever. He cocks his gun.
You should really, actually read the line instead of just guessing what the line says.
Nope. Taking this for a sign, the Twilight soldiers more in unison?
Probably move.
Taking fighting stances with their slender blades. The man standing next to Finis, Alistair, takes a step forward. Abraham, put the gun down, won't you? For old time's sake. I can't do that, Alistair. Van Helsing responds without hesitation. Do these two know each other?
Why is this surprising to you?
Remember that Van Helsing had said he was a member of Twilight in the past. I have only a moment with my own thoughts. Finis, I'm going to kill you here and now.
But Van Helsing, this whole mission!
If I can kill Finis with my own hands, that becomes my top priority.
Van Helsing! You can't make up your mind.
What?
Again, you're wasting an opportunity with unnecessary talk. You won't pull the trigger because you can't make a decision. Do you fear dying? Or perhaps you fear her dying? Or no, maybe. Are you afraid that I won't die?
Van Helsing says nothing and just glares at Finis. His gun trembles slightly, but I can't tell if it's from rage or fear.
Why not both?
I can't move. The strange atmosphere permeating the room has completely swallowed us. At this rate, we'll... Suddenly, a loud crash breaks the silence as a cannonball the size of my fist smashes through the window. I've seen these many times during training.
Van Helsing, duck!
Where?
Wah.
Van Helsing acts quickly. We're both so dumb.
Hmm?
I said we're both so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Red, blue, green, yellow. The fireworks go off, shrieking furiously. The car is filled with sound and light. Soldiers quickly take cover behind the seats or step forward to protect Finis. Intimidation through fire. Escape tool that suits Lupin's style. Doesn't hurt anyone, but surprises them. It's especially effective against trained enemies who try to anticipate what's next. Enemies who don't know about the trick are taken aback. Those who know about it can use a surprise as an opportunity. AC! Lupin's voice comes in through the window. He's hanging from a rope ladder and he reaches his hand out to me. It seems that he's somehow hanging from the side of the ornithopter. Over here! Run! Lupin shouts to be heard over the bursts of the fireworks.
I won't let you escape, sister.
He pushes his guards aside and tries to grab me.
Ugh.
Next time, I will strike Finis. Right before Van Helsing leaps from the train, he grabs me by... He helps me by firing his gun.
I was saying about not guessing what the line says.
No, it's more I'm looking at it and I'm not reading it correctly. It's not guessing, it's I'm looking at the word and just not reading it correctly. The train is still going full speed. I'm not as tough as Van Helsing. If I hit the ground, it would undoubtedly kill me. But, so what? I have faith that Lupin will catch me.
Lupin!
Just as Finis's fingers brush against me, I get a short running start and jump with all my might out the open window. I can't control my body as I tumble in the thrashing wind. The ground rushes up. Lupin's strong arms catch me before I hit. You jumped! Oh, good job.
CG time.
As soon as Lupin has a hold on me, the ornithopter turns away from the train.
You know, now that I see CG again, he looks a little bit cross.
He looks a little bit what?
He looks a little bit cross-eyed.
Sure? In an instant, we've gained distance from the train. As it gets smaller and smaller, I see Finnis look out the window at us. And for some strange reason, he is smiling. As if he's enjoying that we resisted. It is an expression of glee, like that of a small child discovering a fun toy. Lupin tightens his grip on me, as if he gets the same impression from Finnis' face. We fell right into his trap. He says this in a low voice, tinged with frustration.
Yes.
We failed the mission, but he's probably concerned that letting Finnis escape will prove to be an even greater threat later. Finnis, Twilight's leader, and perhaps my brother. It should be impossible to believe, yet I feel as if I've felt his cold gaze somehow or somewhere before. A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
As I said, Finnis has the Princess Leia buns.
Somewhere. Hey, you two! Running low on fuel. Gonna speed up so it'll get a little shaky. So hang on. Impey's shout brings me back to my senses. For now, what matters most is that we've escaped from Twilight's clutches. Right. Don't worry about us. We're counting on you to get us back to the rendezvous point, Impey.
What about Victor?
Oh, he can run for it. I don't care about him. Don't worry about him. I've already picked him up. Don't worry about him. I've already picked him up. So that's that. We're done here. So let's get the...
Well,
What's the matter, AC?
I don't know. My chest is burning.
Ah, the poison's eating you alive, isn't it? Your chest? Did something happen to the horologium?
I don't know.
It's a pulsing, searing pain. I tightly hold my chest and watch the train disappear into the distance. Hey, we did it! Hey!
I completed a chapter.
Vampire
Wow.
Requiem, what?
Yes.
Do we want to end here?
Probably. We're a little over 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
I have to go get my laundry.
And I should probably eat dinner.
You should.
Well, thank you for watching. We'll be back Wednesday for Boyfriend Dungeon ?
We should be finishing Boyfriend Dungeon on Wednesday.
Woo!
Very exciting.
Yeah, so thank everyone for watching. Bye.
Bye.